Hello and welcome to Tae Kwon Do training. I'll be your instructor for today's show, Bob Lemire. Now in today's show, what I'm going to do is, because of the circumstances of the world today and with the virus out there and everyone being secluded in their house with their children, and trying to figure out what can we do and what's on TV, what I'd like to do is do some shows once each week, a brand new show each week. Right from the beginning, start Tae Kwon Do right from the beginning. So a lot of times, you'll watch my show going, he's already involved in it. I want to show you what we do for a student who comes in fresh off the street, young child, older person, doesn't matter, and what we do, how we start Tae Kwon Do and how we learn all the techniques. It's going to be very, very basic, so if you're an advanced student, you might get one or two things out, but it's not going to be such a great workout for you. But maybe you might get one, two techniques that are different that you kind of like. Also, what I'd like to do is DATV. We were talking recently, maybe doing a few live shows where you can call in and ask questions about Tae Kwon Do and interact a little. You can ask me what if I could do another technique, if possible, in the studio, or how to do certain techniques or whatever. So that's something you'll be seeing advertised in the near future. So this will be the very first one of our beginning of Tae Kwon Do, fresh beginning of Tae Kwon Do as you walk in the classroom. So if you want to work out with me, grab your children or grab your friends, your spouses. It's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. I'm going to keep my kicks low or midsection, keep everything nice and easy. I'm not going to go crazy. And as you train with me, I'm going to give you one workout per week. Do that workout all week. Next week, I'll do it maybe very quickly and then give you a couple more things, a couple of different things. That's how we learn. The basic stuff I'm going to show you, you do over and over. And that's a workout every day. You can watch the show every day. It's on the phone. It's on DATV. You Google it. You'll see all the shows that we have, a lot of shows. But this will be the one for beginners. All right. So we're going to start very basic, very light stretching. All right. I'm going to go over some light stretches. Go easy. I got a chair in case someone has a problem with balance. Feet together, hands on your knees. All you do is go up and down like this. Oh, my God, it feels so good. And it's easy. All right? What you're doing when you do stuff like this is you're warming up your joints. All right? We want to warm up all our joints and make our muscles move, get warm, so that the juices flow. And as we work out, it's not cold. All right? You really don't want to throw a kick if you don't have to without stretching, because that's how your muscles will snap and they'll stretch and you'll get hurt. All right, so we went up and down. You try to do these about 10 times, all the time. Then you do twist your knees, we call it, twist your knees. We do 4 one direction, 4 the next direction. 4 one direction, do sets of 10 each direction. All right, that's pretty easy. See what we're doing, we're trying to get the joints, my ankles, my knees, even my hips are getting a little stretch. All right, all right. What I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to leave some of it out. I'm not going to do full splits or anything. But what I've done here, I've done the same bunch of exercises, same set of exercises before I work out for almost 50 years now. So if I'm going to work out, I'm doing these exercises regardless. It's in my head. I can do the whole routine without even realizing I did it because my body's just so used to it. So it's something that you want to get used to, and you're not even thinking about it. You just go from one to the other. After you do, you twist your knees, you go down, you just touch the ground, all right? Lift your arms up and do that, all right? Try to keep your knees straight if you can. If you can't, all right, just go down as far as you can. That's fine. You want to stretch your back. What we're doing is stretching our back, all right? And we're stretching our hamstrings, all right? See how what I'm doing is I'm gonna try to stretch all our body parts and warm them up before we start, all right? All athletes should do this. And I see some athletes, especially younger athletes, and they're great athletes, but they don't stretch right. And I watch them, I go, look at him, he's not stretching right. Football players, basketball players, they just want to get out there and play, and they're young. And all of a sudden you see them limping, and they're coming up short, and they pulled a muscle, all right? They strained a muscle, they tore a muscle. It was cold, All right? So you warm them up good, and your body's going to be happy that you did. All right? So you're going down as far as you can, come back up. And see how I'm stretching? I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm trying to stretch. All right? Like that. Okay, yeah. That's easy. Then I call in a hip stretch. All right? Look at it. I'm touching my fingers on my hands. Right? I'm bringing my leg up, just right, belt level. We can go high, but I'm not going to do anything high. I'm going to do everything very low. Look at this. This is a workout in itself, too. So if you want to work out and do some aerobics, might as well do some stretches while you're at it. All right? So I'm doing my aerobics, my stretches, and I'm getting ready for the Tae Kwon Do. All right? In a hip stretch, I call that. All right? Then this is out of hip stretch. Look at what I do is I pick my leg up straight up. Then I twist it to the side, all right? So I pick my leg up, twist it to the side. Up. I'm trying to twist my hip so that my hip will turn, all right? All right, with my leg. Look at it. Greatest exercise in the world. As people get older, their hips get brittle. They fall, they hurt, they break their hip. If you keep working your whole life, all right? Even if you get older, you can do this. What this is doing is lubricating, and it actually lubricates the whole area of your body that you're using. All right? If you do not use parts of your body and just let them sit over and over, they're not lubricating, they're not moving, you're going to get hurt. That's the worst thing in the world. The body is a machine that wants to work all the time. You still have to give it rest, you have to give it proper food, proper water, and you have to feed your body right and do the right thing. But it wants to work. It wants that workout every day. All right? Look at this, boom, and you feel good doing this. All right, all right, and just pick your leg up. Now, again, if you're older and you want to do these exercises, you go, I can't balance. Pick this chair's kind of flimsy, but I'm just going to balance. Look at, just so that I'm not leaning on it. See, I hate to do this and have people fall. You're just holding it. Your big sofa or the wall or something won't move, whatever, but just for balance. Look at, and that makes it easier. Because a lot of times, someone will pick their leg up, and they're off balance. They pick their leg up, and they start falling because they never do that. There's no balance. So this will help you, okay? You practice that. Look at this, twist your body. How basic can you get right here? I like to do about 15 to 20 minutes of stretching before I work out every day. So the whole stretch out is like a yoga thing. It's not yoga, but it's like, doing that kind of stuff. Never did yoga. But I watch it and I say, wow, I might like that when I get real old and I want to do some exercises. All right? Up, hold on. When you do these exercises, you're going to feel it. And you always do right and left. Try to get both sides. But you're going to feel, right? You're going to feel, sometimes you're going to feel your stomach, which is great. It gives you a nice tight stomach. All right, this one right here is a little more difficult. All right, we kind of come down all the way down, and don't bounce like I just bounced, but just try to do something like that. You're going to be up here and stay up here. All right? If you're way up here, stay there. And hold the chair. Go like this. All right? We'll do that. I'm going to do that. If you can go down, then you're doing well. And I won't go down. I'll show you. This is just as good. All right? Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Certain exercises are kind of tough, and I don't want people to get hurt. Then you want to just go on the ground. All right? And we don't have to go too far. Look at it. And you don't have to even bend too far. You're going to feel this stretch back here, hamstrings. Right? If you can touch, fine. If you can't, go as far as you can. And until you can feel that stretch. Right? That's what you do. And then you do both sides. Ah, nice. I've always bounced. And it's always been a habit. You're really not supposed to. So if you see me bouncing, don't. You see me on the street, tell me don't bounce anymore. You should just pull down. Right? Nice and easy, pull down. Right? My thing is I've always been very, very loose with splits in my body. And I never had problem with straining muscles, once in a while. So, I would bounce. I'd bounce so I'd want to get farther down, farther down. Well, you don't bounce. Years ago, people bounced. All right, yeah, keep bouncing. But as science and we learn how the body works, if you go like that, you could start tearing, right? So you go very light, like this, right? To the front, put your hands down, very light. If you can crawl forward, crawl. But you don't have to go far. I'm not going to go far at all, so to make it look like it's too high. All right? Right? Come down as far as you can. There you go. Then you go to the front. Now you do that, for about a couple of minutes, both sides. Come to the front, same thing. My belt's in my way. Same thing. Just go down, touch your toes and back. Down, pull your toes back. If you can't touch your toes, you do this. Far as you can. Once you reach a point, you're going to feel the tightness here. That means you're stretching. So, all right, try not to bounce. Sometimes you can't change. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Can't even say it. All right? So I bounce. Thing is, a lot of things in martial arts 50 years ago, compared to the science and the things that evolved 50 years, a complete opposite of what we used to do when we were kids and we were young. And it's hard to get out of that mode. So you just want to get a light pull, all right? Just so you feel, all right? Put your leg behind you. If you can't, you can't. But try to do this, most people. And then you're going to do that. I don't want to do too many exercises that everyone can't do. So if you can't do this one, don't worry about it, all right? You go down, and then you twist. You go down, don't bounce, Bob, and then you twist, all right? You do that, hold it, up, twist. So you're getting your hips and you're getting your hamstrings again. All right, that's good for that. All right, let's do some front stretches. That was 15 minutes right there, maybe about 12. You want to hold up if you want to hold the chair, forward stance. The left forward stance is like this. Right? Your front leg's bent, your back leg's straight. All right, you're right in the middle. All right. Your feet are shoulder width apart. This is what we call forward stance. This is a good stance we use to practice some kicks to learn balance, keep balance. You really don't fight in a forward stance. They say, what kind of stance is that? You really don't fight in this stance. But it is a stance. And it's a stance we use to practice our forms, kata, pumse, whatever you call them, and to practice some stretches. So from this stance here, which is nice, we practice stretch. Look at it. Stretch. Forward stance. Stretch. Look at it. And I'm not going high. Look at it. I'm going to keep it midsection. If this is all you got, then that's good. Look at it. And what you're doing is stretch. You go back to your stance. Stretch. Go back to your stance. See how I keep my hands up? When I'm doing any kind of workout at standing up, any stance, you're going to see my hands. As I'm doing the show, I'm going to drop them a little because I want you to see my face. I'm talking to you. But if I'm doing it at the school, this is where my hands stay all the time. You don't have to keep them tight all the time. You can keep them loose as you're doing your stretching. But, keep almost a nice fist. All right? And stretch. You do both sides. Again, if you needed the chair, just use the chair. If you don't need the chair. Because a lot of times someone will do a stretch and I don't want you to fall. My thing is safety. You have to, if you're safe and you get through this workout, you can work out tomorrow. But if you fall down and hurt yourself, you're not going to work out anymore. All right? You won't come back. So I got to keep you safe. And we got to go slowly into the martial arts. All right? Stretch. All right? So you try to do 10 of each. And you go back into your fighting stance each time. Look at it. Stretch, back into my fighting stance. Stretch, back into my fighting stance. That's front stretch. Let's do a little side stretch. All right? When I do the side stretch, I tell my students new students anyway, to put their foot this way so to get them ready for a side thrust kick. all right? So when they stretch with, like, it would end up in a side stretch kick, a side thrust kick. Right? Look at 5, 6, and you count to 10. Then you do the other side, all right? Count to 10, all right? 1, look at, see my foot? So that when I do my side thrust, you're gonna, the knife edge, which will be the knife, we call that part of your foot from your baby toe all the way down, your knife edge. So that goes in and breaks boards or hits your opponent. It's a smaller part. It's not a flat part of your foot. If you kick with the flat part of your foot, it's a slap, like, it's a push. But if you get in there with a knife edge, that's where it goes in, and it can break a bone or break a board or whatever. So stretch. Normally, and I'm looking at the camera, but normally I would stretch. I would look in the direction of my stretch or my kick. Wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, you want to kind of look in that direction. Now, sometimes we're doing 2 different moves. We use peripheral vision, and we look both ways in the middle of the direction that we're doing. But I don't want to get too involved right here. I want to do basic. We'll get up there someday, right? And stretch. Try not to stretch this way. Don't go this way. You're going to pop yourself and fall. You can't, if you don't have the chair, you're going to go, yeah. Go as far as you can, as straight as you can, all right? As far as you can, straight as you can. Just now, if you do 10 of each, what a great workout you're going to have. It's unbelievable. You're going to feel it. You got to go easy. Whatever we do on this show, that should be it for tonight. Tomorrow, if you don't feel bad, do it again. All right? Maybe do a little more. If you need a day off, take a day off. Don't do any exercise. Then try it again. Follow the show. This is from basic day 1 up to the martial arts. And I'm going to show you a couple of kicks right before the end of the show. We got 10 minutes left on the show. This goes by fast, this half hour. All right, so that side stretch, all right? Let's do one kick. Actually, I'll do 2 kicks with you. We're going to practice the front snap kick, all right? Most basic kick, probably one of the easiest kicks, but this technique, all right? So we're going to do this. We could do it from a fighting stance. Fighting stance is like when we walk, all right? This is how this is how we fight. But when we practice front snap, beginner, our forward stance. Front leg is bent a little, back leg is straight, okay? Comfortable. 90% of you're right in the middle of both legs, okay? So 50% of your weight is on your back, 50% of your weight in the front. We're not gonna, right? So from here, front snap kick, look at, we call this a chamber. You're gonna hear me say the word chamber a billion times. Chamber. What we do is, as I'm chambering and I'm coming up, chambering, see my foot? I'm pointing my toes down to the ground. That's so that I can throw the front snap kick and hit with my toes, all right? Or if I'm wearing sneakers, the hard part of the front, and if I'm not wearing sneakers, in the next show I won't wear any sneakers, you try to curl your toes back and hit with the ball of your foot, so you don't, when you hit, you don't break your toes. Our toes and our fingers are digits that like to break because they're very loose, so you got to stay away from them if you can. All right? You're up here, hands are up, snap back and down. See, I chamber, all right? I chamber, I kick, I come back and down. After I kick, I don't drop. All right? That's it. If you didn't study the martial arts with someone who knew that you'd do that, you'd go, then you left. You want to be kick and back so that you could have another kick. We always want to be ready for another kick. So if you're here, kick back and down. Kick back and down. All right? So you practice 10 of those. That's front snap kick. Front snap kick. Remember that. Front snap, 1, down. 2, down. Now, as you start getting better at the kick, right? Right? You start putting some snap to it. Now, this is low section. Low section would be around the knees. Even if I'm doing a low section, I want to do a chamber. I want to do a good chamber. Up, kick, and back. Midsection, same chamber. High section, same chamber. So you can practice low section, okay, midsection. You can practice high section. High section should be about your own height. So if you're in a mirror or you're kicking pads or whatever, you'll call high section unless you're advanced and you're really stretched, we go straight up. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to keep it midsection and low for beginners. We always do. We don't want anybody to fall or get hurt. So this is what we call a front snap kick. Up, kick, extend that foot all the way out to your target. All right? Kick, and then back. Pretty easy. That's a front snap kick. All right? Great thing about learning on TV, you just rewind. All right? You don't have to say, teacher, do that again. No, you just rewind and say, wow, all right, what did he say? What did he say? Although I'm going to repeat myself a million times. All right, so the front snap, I'm going to just show you the side thrust kick. Those are the two basic kicks to start Tae Kwon Do. All right, in our school anyway. Well, let's do this. You don't have to hold, but if you have a chair, hand up. All right. Now remember we did our stretch, and I went like this. All right, with my foot. Remember I went like this with my foot so that I could get my knife edge. Well, we're going to start the side thrust kick just like that. Okay. So from here, we're going to pick it up. Now we'll pick it up straight to our front here. All right. But I'm going to kick off to the side. Up and side thrust kick. That's a side thrust. Up, side thrust, chambered back, and down. So it's like I didn't go, bah. You don't want to kick and drop. And excuse me, gravity wants to bring you down. Gravity loves pulling you down to the ground. So you got to fight gravity, which is the workout. All right? It's a beautiful thing. All right, so look in the direction of your kick. Hold on to something. You don't have to hold on to anything, but if you want to, you know what I'm saying? You're up. You're up. You're looking. Look at. This is a good way to start and practice the move itself. Is right. So someone's coming at you in the street. And it's like they see that they're gonna go, oh, all right, maybe not. I don't know. All right, so. So that's a good way to practice, and you're gonna feel some muscles in here. You do a lot of these in one night. The first night, you're gonna be like, the next day, like, ooh, I'm sore. Sore is good sometimes, but you don't overdo it. Right? You're here. You look in the direction. Right? Up, chamber, kick to your target. And then come right, pull it back quick. You can kick and leave it there for a second, but I'd rather have you learn to bring it back. Because if you kick and practice that way, a lot of people do. They'll go, bah, and leave it there for a second. That's fine. Hopefully you kicked your person and he went back, because if not, he'll grab your leg. All right? But if you kick and you come back, right? If you pick your leg up and start going, look at this way, you're going to get no snap. You have to start. You have to start close to your body and explode out and then come back close to your body. Okay, so start, kick, and come back. Start, kick, and come back. Do both sides. All right? You don't have to start. You don't have to go crazy. You don't need the chair. You want to do this? That's fine. Keep your hands here. Okay? But I'd like to see maybe the first night use a chair. Try not to bend too much. All right, so I'm up, kick, back, and down. Even practicing like that, it's so hard. It's easy to throw the kick out and come back. Practicing this, it works your muscles. It works everything, because now you're fighting gravity. You're keeping the leg out there. And come back and down. So you can practice either way. Up, out slow, up. Keep it out, up. Keep it out and come back. All right? That's side thrust, and that's front snap kick. Okay, I thought I'd have more time to get into some punches. But what we'll be doing, this is a horse riding stance. All right, next week's class, same date. Horse riding stance, just like riding a horse. All right, feet kind of shoulder width apart. Bend your knees. You extend your arm. All right, make a tight fist. All right, make that thumb go across. All right, not inside and not hanging up. Thumb goes across. You're always hitting with your middle finger and your index finger, those knuckles, keeping your arm straight. All right, you're keeping your arm straight when you're practicing. And then we're going to turn. We're going to go, turn at the last second. Go, turn at the last second, right before you hit your target. You say, why do you do that? Well, when we start getting advanced, we get a hip jog. And that hip jog snaps at the last second. All right? And great fighters with uppercuts and good jabs, they do that. You don't even realize they're doing it. You think they're jabbing like this. They're not. They're there, and they're snapping. They're snapping their hip into it. So that's about all the time we have for tonight's class. It goes by fast. What we did is really, really basic. Next week, I'm going to add to it, all right? And you might be getting some advertising on DATV. Go to the website, datv.com. You can see a lot of my shows. Google it. I've done almost 600, 700 shows in the last 30 years. So there's a lot of shows, but this is the beginning. So if you want to learn Tae Kwon Do, and you're going to be in the house probably for a little while, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month, who knows? We're trying to stay away from each other with this virus. In the meantime, you got to get in shape. You're going to get in good shape. You got to stay in shape. All right? We want to be in shape. Do some running. Do a lot of exercises. I'll show you some calisthenics again that you can use. And they're all on my old shows, but nothing that starts right from the beginning. All right? So this is day one. You were in my class. Do this exercise all week. All right? Whenever you can. Next Wednesday, second class you would have taken. All right? We'll learn maybe one more kick or two more kicks. So you'll have 4 kicks. We'll do a couple of hand techniques. That's all the time we have. Thank you for joining the show. Until next time, have fun, train hard, and stay safe.